I mean, can it get any worse for the New Orleans Saints this season? I mean, we've lost Drew Brees. We lost a bunch of guys on defense. We've lost offensive linemen on Yamada. I mean, it's just been a horrible, horrible offseason. And now, to top it off, Michael Thomas is out.
We give you the option.
Hello, everybody. I'm Chris. This is The Option, a fantasy football podcast. Joining me today is James. We are without Nick again. I mean, the guy his nickname is Vacation at this point. He's got a lot of things going on. It is summer. So, Nick, we can't wait to have you back. I'm not a big fan of doing these openings, and I miss you, buddy. But
wait, I like this opening. This was the best opening I've ever seen.
Yeah, you just like to see me in pain, man. You just like to see me in pain. I don't like it. News came out. Michael Thomas, wide receiver for the New Orleans Saints, is expected to miss the start of the 2021 season, undergoing surgery to repair the torn ligaments in his ankle this past June. The injury recovery timeline is 4 months. Thomas is in jeopardy of missing half the season. James, who is the ad in this offense? Who is going to come out to be the top passing target for my New Orleans Saints?
So now like this adds a whole bunch of different dynamics. So my first thing would be, I mean, the Swiss Army knife. He's going to throw it to himself, catch it, and run down the field. Or they make Winston be the quarterback because they have a wide receiver spot open. So now Taysom Hill becomes the
wide receiver. Yeah, I like it.
It's got to be Tre'Quan Smith at the wide receiver role. But this also puts Adam Troutman as a lot higher on my list as a tight end too. So yeah. I think those are your two main targets on this team. I'm not too happy with Tre'Quan being the guy. I don't know if I can fully trust him to be the guy he was last year with Brees, and he did okay, but I mean, he was more of a wide receiver 3 for me, even in those games. So, I mean, this is some tough sledding from you. Kamara would be the other guy. He's going to get even more targets than he was now. I mean,
does he bump you? Does he move up on your running back ranking list? Does he go up at all for you?
Well, he was already at the top, like near the top anyways. I mean, you had him projected to go back and repeat. I think he could do it again now because they're going to have to run the offense through him now, right? So it changes things. I'm a little worried about your team winning wise.
You're worried.
Well, yeah. I mean, I like seeing the camaraderie of Cowboys, Saints, and being good teams. It's no fun if they're one's going to be bad now. I mean, Cowboys will still win, but I mean, it's I had to stick that in there.
I'm not excited. I mean, I'm excited for the season, but my hopes for the New Orleans Saints this year are diminishing by the day with all this bad news coming out of there. Tre'Quan Smith is probably going to be the wide receiver 1 in that offense. I like him more with Jameis Winston than I do Drew Brees because the depth of target for Drew Brees wasn't that deep, and Jameis Winston can get the ball downfield. We've seen what he can do with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Tre'Quan Smith isn't those guys, but it could definitely put a boost on his production. Now, there is also Kwan Taylor, Marquez Callaway, and Deontay Harris for wide receiving options. But as James says, I think it's going to be Tre'Quan and Troutman and Kamara getting that vacated target boost. Are we fading everyone on this passing offense, James?
I mean, I think Troutman you can draft a little bit later in a tight end. He might move up the board a bit now, but I think he can finish top 10, especially with the fact that he's Michael Thomas is out for so long. They're going to have to throw the ball to somebody, and if they aren't winning games, they're going to be in your favorite garbage time. So someone is going to get points on this team. This team better than I do. Who's after Tre'Quan in the wide receiver room?
It's tricky. I don't think there is a third, or as of right now, a second guy that has been determined. It's going to be a camp battle, and I think it's going to be Marquez Callaway is going to be end up being the wide receiver 2 on that team.
Could there be a trade, do you think?
They have been looking at wide receiver free agents, so there could be the possibility of them bringing in a guy.
Okay.
There hasn't been any news of them working out anybody in particular, so they are looking at bringing someone in. I could definitely see that happen. I just don't know who it is, or if they do bring someone in, how much value they're going to hold. As for Michael Thomas, the topic of discussion, are you drafting him if he falls late enough for you?
So now you have to break this down by the league type. In a redraft league, I'm probably not. I mean, 4 months is a long time.
Even if he drops to, like, say, the 12th round for you?
Well, what's 4 months? How many weeks would be missing at that point? Are we looking at, we're in
counting August, you're looking at about
November?
Almost half the season, man. Yeah,
you're looking November. That means he's probably starting around December, the end of the season. Then he's got to pick it back up, and then it is an ankle, which is not a good injury that it could go wrong,
especially ligaments.
I mean, yeah, okay, maybe late to store, but you have to have the right roster size. Maybe if you have an IR spot, you can stash him there. In a dynasty, I mean, yeah, I would take him still there. And in a keeper league, I'd still think about it because, I mean, he's still a legit wide receiver that potentially has keeper value, but nowhere earlier than round 10, 12-ish, somewhere there, maybe a little later.
It would really depend on how my team is built and who's left on the board for me. He could come back for the fantasy playoffs and absolutely ball out for you. I think the worst part of this injury for me is he got injured last week 1, when they already had the game in the bag, and Sean Payton put him out there, and he ended up hurting his ankle. It was devastating last year to lose him, and the news that came out, it just broke my heart, man.
Yeah, I know. All I could say is my condolences. I'm sorry, but I went through a horrible season last year.
Yeah,
so
I was gonna say all about ankle injuries.
I know how this works, and it's going to be rough. But just picture this: you don't have Andy Dalton as the backup, so don't worry about that. Okay.
It's true, but
yeah,
it's tough, man. It's tough.
But yeah, that's what we have on Mr. Thomas there, who we think is going to be the backup and what's going to happen there. But let us know. Are you guys, is there anyone other than Traquan that you guys are drafting? Are you even drafting Traquan? Would you? Let us know in the comments, and definitely follow, subscribe, and like the show so we can bring you guys more content and more stuff like this. But other than that, have yourselves a good night, and we'll see you again.
Do you agree with us? Disagree with us? Let us know with a comment below, or even reach out to us and DM us.